Everybody, this is Sean V. Bradley, and I am on the way to go training. I'm in the car, obviously, from the hotel out to Mike Anderson Chevrolet in downtown Chicago, and there's a little bit of traffic. Don't worry, everybody, I'll be there on time. Yes, I'll actually be there before 9 o'clock. So anyway, the reason why I'm doing this quick video as I'm driving, it's about time management. Okay, there's certain things that you cannot control. You cannot control traffic, you cannot control the weather, and so instead of stressing about it, instead of being like, grr, what you should be able to do is be productive. Circle of influence versus circle of concern. So that's what the quick little morning message is for everybody today, is that if you are stressed about things you have no control over, and you're noticing that it's just, making you dizzy and dizzy and dizzier, just worrying about things you have no control over, then stop it. Stop the madness. Stop worrying about things you have absolutely no control over. Okay? Now, focus on things you can control. Now, since I'm in the car, I'm going to give you an example of something you can do to be productive. I know a lot, and I mean a lot of managers. I know a lot of sales consultants. I know a lot of internet staff members that have to drive to work. Can you imagine that? Even in this day and age in the Apple technology world, we still can't beam each other up, like Star Trek. Well, not yet at least. So if you have to drive to work, instead of, listening to headbanging music or rap music or, Britney Spears or whoever's hot right now, famous wise, what you should do is utilize that time productively. In my vehicle, I've got a tremendous amount of audiobooks, as does my wife, Karen Bradley. She listens to a tremendous amount of, Franklin Covey audio material to constantly be sharpening the saw. So again, what could you listen to in your car? You could be listening to objections and rebuttals, either, CDs from trainers or training companies, or you could make them yourself. This is not a commercial. I'm trying to give you this guy some free advice. So again, let's say you want to rehearse at your dealership with some coworkers or your manager, or if you're a manager watching this, you can rehearse with your team. Record it like I am. I'm on my iPhone right now in the car driving to work being productive. So what you can do is at the dealership, create some type of training videos, objections and rebuttals, role playing, etc., and just listen to them, not watch them for the record. This is professional. Don't do this at home. So you could just put an audio CD in your vehicle, or you could have an MP3 file through your iPod or whatever it is that you do to get audio sound. Get it going. Think about it. Think about how productive you could be. I know managers that drive 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, an hour and 20 minutes to and from work. I know a friend of mine told me that there's actually a manager, a high-level manager, in Jackson, Tennessee, and they drive all the way from Memphis, just, etc. There's different things that go on in people's lives that force them to commute, or they just, they have a hell of a job they love, so they commute. Whatever the reason is, utilize that time. So again, let's recap. What can you do to be more productive in the mornings to work and from work? Well, here's a couple things. One, you could watch or listen to training videos. Again, I prefer that you don't watch them, you listen to them so you can focus on the road. The next thing that you could do is listen to objections, rebuttals. You could listen to role plays that you did. If you mystery shop or call monitor people, you could listen through phone calls. Managers, you could download a lot of the MP3 calls from your team, and you could listen to productive calls, which are positive, and you can listen to not so productive calls to identify weaknesses and create plans on how you're going to do to improve. You could also buy audio books. What type of books? The Secret from Rhonda Byrne. You could, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People from Dr. Stephen Covey. Put First Things First, Stephen Covey. All his good books are awesome. You could read, Who Moved My Cheese, Seth Godin, The Purple Cow, From Good to Great. And there's a tremendous amount of awesome books. If you need a book list, just email me, Sean@dealersynergy.com, and I'll send it to you, or call me up, and I'll be more than happy to offer you some advice. Now, so we've got audiobooks, we've got training materials, we've got mystery shopping,
in
call
1
monitor,
mile,
MP3s.
take exit 84, on right, to Lawrence Avenue, then keep left.
See? I really am in the car. This is not special effects, it's not green screen, folks. What else could you do? Well, check this out. If you're in sales, or you're internet sales, and you're still making a living doing product presentation, demo drives, and deliveries, you can follow up with people. You can literally follow up with people. What do I mean by that? Well, you can turn around and, make phone calls to work, setting up appointments, confirming appointments, and same thing on your way home. Everything I just said to you that you can do going to work, you can do coming home from work. So anyway, utilize that time, because think about this for a second. Let's just say you have a 30-minute commute to and from work. That's an hour a day, times, 5 working days. Okay, and then that, then there's 4 weeks. God, man, there's 20 hours a month. Just dead space. What would we all be able to do with 20 extra hours of productivity? 20 extra hours of information, education, motivation, inspiration? I don't know. I always say, if you want the things that the average person doesn't have, you've got to be willing to do the things that the average person isn't willing to do to get them. Again, I'm trying to concentrate on the road. If you want the things the average person doesn't have, well, you got to be willing to do the things that the average person isn't willing to do. Now, just so you see this, it really is traffic infested. Watch this. See that? Like, I'm in downtown Chicago, and there goes a train, and this is the pace I'm going. So I could turn around and complain and bitch and moan and be like, I'm in traffic. I'm in traffic. Or I could be a, CEO of a national company and be productive. Time management, identify opportunities for me to be successful, identify opportunities for my clients to be successful. That's what I chose to do. I chose to create my own weather. I chose to focus on my circle of influence rather than my circle of concern. Thank you. This is Sean Bradley, Dealer Synergy.